Hey folks, so I've been scrolling through TikTok a little bit, and I keep getting these ads popping up for this OBD code reader, and this guy makes some claims. I'm going to correct here. I'm a mechanic of over 25 years of experience. I've worked in 2 different continents. I've worked on loads of different vehicles. One is Land Rover certified, as well as I've worked on Maseratis, Porsches, stuff like that. So I have a fairly good knowledge on this, and this is kind of what my channel is about, is correcting misinformation. Let's have a look at this ad, and then we'll break it down, and I'll show you how this is completely wrong and very disingenuous.
Getting ripped off by your mechanic.
Okay, so on that first one there, you see that little symbol, looks like a little circle with three little dashes on each side. That's for brake pads. That's pretty much just indicating that it's got a fault with the brake pad sensor. It's got little sensors that when you brake pads right on a certain point, it has this little sensor that loops around, and when that little wire gets broken because it gets worn through the when the pad gets low enough to touches the disc, then it breaks the thing and breaks the contact and causes the light to come on. There's actually nothing to do with the OBD reader. And in fact, that OBD reader wouldn't even read anything to do with ABS or anything that breaks. It's simply just the OBD2 reader. It's for the very basics of emissions and some engine management, and that's all. But it's only OBD protocol, and there are some manufacturer-specific stuff that code reader wouldn't even see or be able to do. So he's got one engine light on there, and then he's got something to do with brake pad warning light, and that could just be actually the sensor wire, could be something to do with the wire, or it could be the fact that he needs some new pads.
So basically, these lights have been on my car for about 6 months now. I took it to Mercedes and I got scammed £96 just to tell me what's wrong with the car.
I do find it funny that he seems to have that folded over, so we actually don't see if it was done for just diagnostic fee or if there's something else he had to do on that thing. The fact that we took it to a Mercedes dealer and they charged him £96 including VAT for an hour diagnostic, that's pretty damn good, because most dealers charge well over £100 for diagnostic. Now what you're paying for is you're paying for an hour's diagnostic for them to look into it. You're paying for them to use their specialist equipment, which is actually updated every few months. You're also paying for somebody who's gone through 4 years of training, as well as perhaps several years of actually being in the trade, and we are trained every few months, if not at least every 6 months, every year, on all the new models, on all the new technology that comes out. So actually what you're getting is actually a really good deal. You have to remember, in the UK, mechanics are some of the lowest paid trades in the country, but yet we have to have the most updated education on systems that come out. Vehicles, technology is changing every 6 months or so, and it's rapidly growing. But yet, a plumber, a builder, a electrician, that's all been the same for almost 100 years, and yet they are paid much more. But mechanics actually have to invest in thousands of pounds worth of tools, and we have to also either pay for the training ourselves, or we have companies that have to pay for it. So you actually get £96 for the fact you get an hour's diagnostic for them to try to find and fix the problem if they can quickly, or at least tell you what's wrong with the vehicle with specialist equipment. It's actually a hell of a deal. But people try to think of being ripped off, but you actually don't know the ins and outs of it.
And they told me I needed a whole new engine. What?
So they're saying that he needs a whole new engine. Now I find that quite suspicious that he's actually saying that, but he hasn't shown what the diagnostic was found fault in the vehicle, or even how the vehicle's running. So I find that quite suspicious, and I reckon that this is being one of the very disingenuous parts of this. If they need a whole new engine that vehicle is running, the EML, or called engine management light, would actually be flashing, indicating a catastrophic failure, and the vehicle probably running like a bag of hammers. But it actually doesn't show this at all, and the fact that the brake pads are worn out would say that part of the vehicle is running well enough for him to drive it around. But let's have a further look.
What I did, I went online and I bought this. This is an OBD car scanner. This tells you exactly what's wrong with your car. It doesn't come with any batteries, it just comes with this little plug here. Plug will either be at your passenger side up there, or driver's side down here.
That won't tell you exactly what's wrong with the vehicle. It might give you a general understanding, and even then you still have to be able to know, be able to interpret the data and know what you're looking at. Sometimes engine can throw a code, but the code, you see one thing, but if you look into it, you realize that it's actually something else. Remember, the vehicle is a computer with other computers attached to it and sensors, and sometimes you can pick up one thing, but it's something else. I'll kind of show you something here. I have myself a very similar tool. Now, this is one of the first ones I bought myself years and years ago, and it's the exact same thing he has. Now I'm sitting in my vehicle here, and I'm going to have it hooked up. The ignition's on. Sorry, the camera's not. So ignition's on, like that. So we're going to scan this up. Now this thing here is by Autel, which actually is a fairly reputable company. And this, until, well, a few years ago, was actually, I could plug it in and get updates to it. Something probably more than his had. I got this, and you can see you can actually plug it in. So, right in there. I don't think this vehicle has any. So if I want to read codes, so even there it says, if the codes are found, please any key. Press any key to select the vehicle make. So it actually wants me to, it's got manufacturer code. So this already is more advanced than the one he has. And this is probably about 13 years old. So I have one here. See, here it is. It's giving me a code, but because it's manufacturer specific, it can't tell me exactly what is wrong. So I have two different codes here. Now, this obviously now, it's giving me this code, so I can try to look up the P codes here.
Once it goes on, you click on OK and it scans your car for you. Once it scans your cars, it'll tell you exactly how many codes you have. I've got 133.
Wow, 133 DTCs. So he's definitely got some faults wrong with that vehicle, or somebody's been there messing around. But I would definitely say there's something up with this vehicle, and it's good. He probably 96 pounds. He probably should have paid a lot more and maybe had some diagnostics actually done on that vehicle. If that's actually he paid for it for 96 pounds. But there's definitely something going on with this vehicle if he's got that many scan codes.
And as you can see, it took 30 seconds and it told me exactly what's wrong with my car.
Let's see what that code says. It says P2000, which is NOx trap efficiency below threshold in bank 1. So you notice this is generic, and that's all the scanner will ever give you. So as I said there, it's given a NOx code, and he's only showing one code there, and he's got 132 still left to look at. But that has to do with the efficiency of the engine, and it's saying NOx trap efficiencies below threshold in bank 1. And so it might be a 4-cylinder, so only we'll have bank 1, we'll still say that. And that's just showing that that's more of a, for emissions and stuff. Now, I would be interested to see what the other 132 are, but I don't think it's going to show that. Is it going to show you exactly? No, like I pointed out before, that scan tool, that little code reader, will only give you generic codes. So it kind of give you a general idea of what may be up with the vehicle, but it only is only relegated to OBD protocol. It will not give you anything manufacturer specific, like you see with my little code reader here, in which it could give you the P code, but couldn't tell me the specific codes, even though I was actually even able to see what make the vehicle is. So yeah, that still won't tell you exactly what's wrong with the vehicle, but it can give you a general idea, and even then you still have to have some prior knowledge.
So I just saved myself £96. If you don't want to go to the mechanic altogether, you can click on clear codes and it'll clear all the codes for you straight.
And that there, as I said before, he's just gone and erased all his freeze frame data from all 133 different codes there. He hasn't fixed anything, hasn't fixed the problem. The vehicle has still got the exact same fault. Most likely, if not all, most of those codes will come back probably straight away or within a few key cycles, depending on the code. Some codes, the ECU needs to see a few different key cycles or see a certain amount of time before it'll flag a code. It'll come pending inside the computer, and then it'll flag a code saying that there is a code that's going on, a current code. But that is not going to fix anything, and all he's actually done is put a tiny little bandage over a big, massive, gaping wound. He's still going to need an engine. He's still going to have efficiency issues. He's still going to have a vehicle that's going to run like a bag of crap. So it's not going to fix anything at all. All he's done is just cost that if he wants to take it in and get it fixed eventually, because the vehicle's not actually repaired in any way, shape, or form, he's now made a mechanic's job a lot harder and taken longer, and it probably cost him a lot more than what even that little scan tool was, and 96 pounds would be a drop in the bucket. So don't do this. All you're going to do is just cause more problems, and you're not fixing anything. Clearing the codes does not fix the fault. All you do is take away the data, and you take away something that can help somebody be able to diagnose a vehicle quicker, get to the root of the problem, and remake the repair that is needed.
Straight away. So you've just saved yourself about £400.
That's 100% incorrect. You haven't saved yourself any money. All you've done, like I said before, is you've cleared the codes, you've cleared away the freeze frame data, you've cleared away anything that can help somebody actually diagnose and repair this vehicle correctly. in the long run, and probably even the short space of time, you've actually cost yourself more money, because all you've done is just made somebody's job harder, who's going to have to spend more time trying to figure out what's wrong with the vehicle in the first place, and still being able to have the data they need to make the repair efficiently and quickly. So all you've done is you've spent money for an OBD reader that probably only does the basic stuff at all, if anything at all. It only would show you just OBD protocol, what has to do with emissions in the engine. It won't do anything for ABS, won't do anything with transmission, won't do anything with airbag, won't do anything with any other systems. And most vehicles now have tons of systems. Even the vehicle I'm sitting in now, which is from 2005, has actually 2007. Sorry, 2005 is behind me, and it'll it still has tons of computers. And this thing here, I have my air conditioning system, which is all done through digital, everything else. Now all that stuff there, I can use with my other advanced scan tool. I can find and look at all the systems there. So I'll show you that in a minute here. But you haven't saved yourself 400 pounds. All you've done is delayed the inevitable. You're still going to pay that 400 or more pounds, but you're going to end up probably costing you more, because now you're going to end up having a longer diagnostic time to get to the fault that this technician could have got to in the first place.
So if you want the exact same one, I'll pop the link at the bottom there for you, so you can go grab it yourself.
So, I mean, if you're interested in something like that, go to the guy's link. I'm not going to knock his tool. For me, probably for a very basic OBD reader, it probably does the job like any other basic OBD reader does. You could probably find one that's going to be better. You could always go on Amazon, eBay. They all sell stuff like that. I think I've even seen some really basic ones in like Aldi and stuff like that. So all it'll do is it'll give you some codes. That one there will probably give you a code and give you a little, tell you kind of generally what it might be, like it did. So you don't have to look up the code so much. It'll give you I may even show you some live data on that one. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to look at it again. Mine does. Mine actually, I can look at some basic live data and figure it out. But seeing that is not going to fix your vehicle. It's going to give you a general idea of maybe if it's just something like if you got an O2 sensor is gone, or if you have just something maybe like a spark plug, you got a misfire, like maybe some plugs or wires, or if your vehicle's old, or if you have an injector that's gone down, or something that maybe you can have a general idea. I'm not saying don't do that. You can definitely get something like that and scan your vehicle, have some general idea of what some of the codes might be, if you're not trusting your mechanic. And at least then you can take it in and you can maybe give them, don't erase the codes, but at least you can write down what the codes is that you found on your OBD reader. You're still going to probably hook up his, but at least it gives you a peace of mind that something else looked at it, and that it corresponds to the same codes, and you can give it some timeline. So if you want to say, I scanned this vehicle a couple months ago, and this codes haven't gone away, or the codes come and go, they're intermittent, here's the codes that I'm getting in case they're not up now. That obviously can be handy, but don't be erasing the codes. Now let's show you what a much more advanced reader can do. That I have a more advanced diagnostic tool, and even then mine still is not like the high end, like some of the snap-ons or some of the ones you need, or even especially manufactured ones. Manufactured ones are specific to that vehicle, that make and model, and they have the latest, greatest, and best stuff really for this vehicle. So the Mercedes dealer will have the best scan tool for Mercedes. Is designed for the Mercedes systems, and they'll be able to do things that even the best Snap-on or Mac won't be able to do. So this is a bit of a longer video than anticipated, but we'll have a go here. All right, so look at mine. Mine's a Kia Sorento, right? So I'm going to specifically know Kia 2005, actually 2007. Sorry, I was looking at my other vehicle. It doesn't really matter that much. 2007. And we're going to bring up the lines for the 125. So even here. Now I'll show you kind of what I mean for difference. We'll go here. And we're going to do system detection. Right, so and I'm going to do a normal scan. We're going to do, now this here we'll do, and we are, where are we at here, 2007? I think it's that guy there, year 4. Alright, So what it's going to do is, as you can see, no, we're not going to skip the gearbox. So I have a automatic on this one, so we don't want to. It has a TCM. So even now, you can see that I'm not only is it going to do the OBD, but I'm also getting the manufacturer specific plus the OBD, EOBD in Europe, OBD2 in North America. And then also getting diagnostic, 4-wheel drive, and immobilizer diesel, immobilizers, airbags, SRS, climate control, all in here. So even now, this here costs more than the one he's selling, but we're getting a much more thorough scan on this. So, all right, so diagnostic is running. So I'm going to pause the screen just for a second here. Because it does take a few more minutes for this, because it has to go through a lot more systems. But as you can see there, already it's got 2 codes on there, which we know about the 2 codes, but I'll get more specific. And EOBD should show 2 codes as well. It'll be the same codes, but here I'll get more specific details and be able to do more diagnostic than I can with this. Oh, also my system, my advanced is wireless. I have this little thing here, which I can actually put the SD card in, and I can have it sitting there, and I can, if there's intermittent or I want to do go for test drive, it'll scan everything on test drive. So as you can see here, it's just coming to the end here. So system identification is concluded. Now, we got 2 codes in there, but look, for this one, also came up with this, got 4-wheel drive diagnostic. So we got a fault in there. As I said, I've been doing work on this vehicle. We'll also have one for the ABS, which I do know there's an ABS fault on this. And we also have one for, looks like the immobilizer as well. And something like, so even then I got the 2 codes originally that came up in that guys are even my OBD reader. But if you look at here, I also have another 6 codes that were never read on that, and that's because they just don't look in the systems. It's only OBD. So let's look at the OBD. And now we have here got transponder, permanent, and immobilizer incorrect key code. So that's what those codes were, which is quite interesting because the key does work. So, oh, maybe not. I may have a. So just for note, it does actually start and run. So, I haven't looked further into these, but it doesn't. That won't be running up the engine code anyways. But that is what it's saying. So, incorrect key code. I don't. Right. So now we have a problem with either a key or a transponder on this for the immobilizer, and that's where the immobilizer code is. So we'll go back. And we'll go into mobilizer, probably the exact same too. So, but at least I know now what it is. See the code, the other system couldn't even bring that up. Let's see for four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive, general position encoder fault, intermittent. Right? So something else to look into. And we're gonna have one for the anti-lock braking system, which you know about this. So we got a circuit. Oh, I know it's wrong. Yeah, I was back there doing some stuff, and I may have forgot to plug that in. So there's a plug back there, open circuit or short to earth. So great, it's not a big deal. So now this one here, I probably will erase. And I'm saying that because I know what the fault is. I was doing some brake work and some stuff at the back of this vehicle and doing some other stuff. And I think I unplugged the plug for the ABS sensors, and I've probably forgot to hook it back up. So not a big deal. So those there, I can and will delete those because I know what the fault is. And it's easily fixed. And it may come back anyways right away because I think I have an open circuit because I forgot to plug it in. So, not a big deal, right? I've engine off, ignition on. So now this is what a technician would do, or anybody who's like got position this. So now I have no trouble code, so I can go back a bit. This is what you're paying for. You're paying for someone with knowledge and also much more advanced and better equipment. That little scan tool you got there may cost you 20 quid. It gives you some basic stuff, but it's not going to fix your vehicle. Right? So now I've hit the button. It's just going to rescan everything again, and the price will bring up for the other codes there for the transponder. So now, as you can see here, actually, interesting is that now it's gone to yellow, which means that it's going to be either intermittent or it may be even I can go into them, so let me do that. So now it's becoming intermittent. It's becoming intermittent because the vehicle does actually run and start, but I may have an issue with the antenna that it's not picking up all the time, and I'll have to look further into that. But I haven't had a problem with this thing not starting for a while. But now she's gone intermittent because the vehicle does run and start. So now it's just picked up that. So I know it's a bit longer video than I actually intended to do, but this is just it's a stark warning to not be trusting these grifters in here. They're trying to sell you a cheap knockoff OBD scanner that you could probably buy for a lot cheaper on like eBay or Amazon, or even at your local, Halfords or something like that. But mechanics are not out to rip you off. At least the majority of us aren't. We actually are in this trade because we like working on vehicles, we work on vehicles, we're good at working on vehicles, and we want to get paid a decent wage for the fact of what we do and how we do it, and that we work very hard to do the best service we can. It's not a rip-off thing, but we want to be paid fairly. If you had somebody, plumber, come around, fix plumbing or electrical in your house, you'd have no qualms over paying their bill. A lot of them also can sometimes be dishonest, as with anybody in the trades. But people seem to have no problem paying them when they need something done right away, but yet they seem to gripe whenever a mechanic tries to fix their vehicle for what is a fair wage, and they try to get decent parts. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me for more videos. I do a lot of stuff on here with other stuff. Try to destroy and debunk things, but I was trying to get knowledge out there and make sure that everybody's looked after. Thanks for watching, and see you again.